Okay, it's recording. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. So answer them briefly, or you can add something more if you wish.
Okay.
So first of all, how old are you?
I'm 26 at the moment.
Okay. What comes to your mind when you hear the term video games?
Probably a good way to spend my time. Enjoyable, probably.
Okay. Next question. Have you ever played one?
Yeah, I've played several in my life.
Can you remember the first video game you ever played?
That's actually a pretty difficult one. I would probably say, like a basic answer, like ping pong or something like that. But I think that the first game that I ever played was Super Mario Brothers, the first one. Yeah.
Was it the one that came in with the computer when you bought it?
Not the computer, but with the Super Nintendo, the first one. Yeah. I think a lot of people had that. We didn't have it for a very long time, and the first time that I ever played it was at a friend's place who was the first who had a gaming console of any kind. Yeah. My dad did have a Commodore back in the day, but he used it mostly for his work and not for, he didn't have any games on it except for ping pong. But I never played it, so I would definitely have to go with Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that's a classic. Okay, so what's your favorite one?
Favorite one? This is another tough one.
Yeah.
I would probably have to say from the Fallout series, I would probably have to say Fallout 3, because it was the first larger game that I ever played, and the experience of playing it was just so immersive, and everything seemed endless. Endless of opportunities, so I'll definitely go with that one.
Okay. So in your opinion, do others besides teens and children play video games?
well, definitely, yeah. I don't consider myself either anymore, so I would definitely say that yes they do, and I don't think it should be classified like that. I believe that a lot of people could definitely benefit from what video games have to offer, and how they can affect your life as in a way of spending your time, and to a certain extent, I believe the video games can lead to social events, contrary to how people feel about other people who play video games.
You mean social events as in, I don't know, LAN parties or...
Yeah, or people that you meet over the internet or in a video game, definitely. Yeah. And to have more people to have things in common, definitely.
Okay, that brings us to another point. So do you think that gaming is addictive?
That could be debated, but to a certain extent, yeah, I do, but very mildly addictive, or not at all. To a person that doesn't have much input, not much input, but to a person that doesn't have much in their life, definitely a lot of things can be, very simple things can be addictive.
True.
But very mildly addictive, I would have to go with that.
Okay, so need some self-control, I guess.
Yeah, as does anything in life.
Okay, so do you think that, do you personally change when you're gaming?
I think that gaming makes me more focused when I'm gaming, and I tend to immerse myself in the video game that I'm playing. That's why I like games that are not that simple and are not very straightforward. But what was the question again?
Do you think that you personally change when you're gaming?
Okay, I'll just answer that. Yeah, I do. I might get a tad bit aggressive when gaming, and I might get. Let's just say that I take my games very seriously sometimes.
Yeah, so you do agree that gaming kind of increases aggression then, because you brought that up already?
I don't know. I didn't mean it like that it brings up aggression.
Okay.
And I don't think video games make anyone violent in the sense that people think they do. But
because there's a big debate going on about that right now.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's true. Or, you know, if that would be true, we would be very, very, very different people. And you know, I don't think other aspects of life take control much more than what video games actually do and what they actually do to people. I don't think it's very minuscule in what other aspects affect life.
Yeah. So do you think that gaming is beneficial, and why, if it is? You mentioned that you become focused.
Okay, what do you mean? How do you mean beneficial? Or do
beneficial that in the sense that, do you get anything out of it? Do you get any positive experiences or?
Yeah, definitely. That I feel that gaming has given a lot to me, and it has given me a lot of like peace of mind that I've gotten it through stressful times, and it has been a way to kind of not to escape, not to let steam out, but to escape, definitely.
Okay, so then, well, do you think that video games contribute to skill development?
Anything in like specific skills, or like, you know, or what do you mean by that?
I mean that, well, there's been studies about that children who play video games, that they get better scores in tests. they get focused really quickly, and they react to situations a lot faster than those that, you know, they don't do that.
Well, I believe that, you know, they definitely develop the motorical skills a lot and very well, and I think that they should be used in teaching a lot more. And I feel that my development in languages, for example, has gotten considerable gains through video games, definitely, and that, you know, my motorical skills have definitely developed to a more sensitive side through video games, because video games create an environment where you have to succeed, you have to respond to situations very quickly. For example, just as an example.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So, a few more questions. Do you think that all gamers are lonely and unsocial?
Excuse me?
Do you think that all gamers are lonely and unsocial?
No, definitely not. I think that, you know, of course some are, because they feel that, you know, they might play a video game online, or they might socialize through their video game playing, but I don't think it's something that should be, you know, stereotyped, that you shouldn't stereotype people through that. And I know some very, very social people who play video games, and I can't really, through my own experiences, I can't say that out of anyone.
It kind of seems that it's a thing of the past.
Definitely, and that's what I meant earlier, that it's becoming a social event more than something that you do completely on your own. Although that does happen as well.
Okay. So, do you like it when Hollywood makes a movie from the video game?
Excuse me?
So, do you like it when Hollywood makes a movie from a video game?
I've yet to see a good one, so I'll definitely.
Resident Evil is an example.
I believe that, you know, for example, out of that franchise, they made one good one, and then it was an incredible slippery slope down after that. So I would definitely have to say no. I think that they should listen to the people who play the video games more when they make them, and just not let, like, you know, a big quality studio make them, and just, you know, put more focus into it actually being like the game on some levels, and not being like a stereotypical action movie, which it very, very often is.
True. Okay, so what do you think the video games will be like in the future?
Good question. I think that video games will just be more interactive, and more immersing, that you will have to do a lot more in physical and mental senses, in all ways. That's a really diverse topic, but I just believe that they will just definitely take you in a lot more than they have before, which I believe is a good thing as a gamer, definitely.
Okay, that was my last question for you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. This was a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.